just chime in and I'll answer to that one. So yes, available for all UPM staff and students. So you get the options of using either Google Forms and Microsoft Forms. There are not much difference between those two. You can use either one. So I gave you here, if you want to just go straight to the your own Microsoft Forms or Google Forms, there it is, but you have to sign it with your UPM ID. Okay, so why are we using this? Because one thing I've told you before, it's available for all UPM staff and students. So everyone has it in our university. And also, you can make them, you can authenticate the users with UPM ID. That means if a student wants to access your documents, your exams, your tests, your homework, they need to use UPM ID. So in a way, we already have a strategy to ensure there's no cheating. I mean, it's not other person who's accessing the document. So they have to log in with UPM ID. Excuse me. The links can be shared. It's mobile friendly. You can do it on your phone. And the good thing is everything is already automated. I mean, you can get all the Excel data and everything. I'll show you what I have before here. So this is yep. So I've done some exam with my students, a test actually. So I get all this. I can use this as a statistic. So that is really easy. Record keeping also made easy. We have our Google Drive, OneDrive. So today, I think I can categorize our exam question to 3 types, which can be done online. One is MCQ, multiple choice question. That's what the forms are usually for. We can also do short answer or paragraph kind of question where students can answer using alphanumeric text, numbers, or and letters. And also, I think the most flexible one is the file upload. We post a question, students write it down on a piece of paper, and then they upload their paper. They upload using image, scan, make it into PDF file. So I think this one is the most flexible one, and I think what most lecturers are looking for. So there are some tips on how to do all these 3. I will show it to you later. But so today in the demo, I've cooked up some I think typical test questions. Okay. If you decide to do multiple choice, how do you do multiple choice? How do you include images, or how do you include images as the multiple choice items, or how do you questions like you pose a question, you ask students to calculate or something, and then give an answer in just one short answer, okay, or a paragraph like an essay question, something like that. And the last one is the file upload, like I show you. If we for math, for example, we want our students to show their works, so how they can upload their work on Google Form and Microsoft Form. So we're gonna look into this 6 type of questions, yeah. But before that, I'm going to show you how to do settings on Google Forms. There are a few important tips here, just to ensure that your forms is cheat proof, at least cheat proof. Okay, so first thing you need to do is you can go to your Google Forms and then start with the empty form. Okay, so let me do it here. Start with an empty form. I'm just going to do this. You can do blank quiz if you want. Okay, so your empty form will look like this. The first thing that you need to do is you go to settings.
Okay, Dr. Salah, sorry, maybe we just want to give some times for participants to go into log into the Google Form first.
Oh, okay, all right, sure. Okay. You can go log into your Google Form and then
So if everyone okay, then maybe we can
do this. Thanks, Kak Fuzah. Sometimes Kejap, check ada apa Great job. Sorry, don't have webcam. It's okay. exam.net. Okay.
Okay, I think maybe.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I think if everyone ready, all right. I think I'll go slow. Yeah. Um, so you open an empty form like this. The first thing you need to do is to go to settings and then make sure these settings are according to how do you make it this cheat proof. Yeah. First, well, I think it's natural you want to collect the email address of all the test takers, the examinees. And then this is important here. You need to restrict to users to UPM. And then students need to use their UPM ID, UPM email. If not, they're not gonna get access to the exam. And then here, this is important also, limit to one response so that students don't send two answers, something like that. And then don't uncheck these two, because this for obvious reason. You don't want students to edit after submit, and you don't want students to see, how the rest of the class is doing, So leave these two unchecked and these three checked. Responsive, this is optional. I didn't use this one. Responsive copy. Yeah, why not? Okay, so these three, and then you go to the next one, presentation. So this is clear, yeah? Just treat that, leave the others blank. On presentation, it's a good practice to let the student know the progress bar. And if you are, this is also to make sure that not all students are receiving the same question at once, because we don't want student conspiring, they collaborate with each other. So it's good to one student receive question 1 first and the other receive question 2, question 3, so on and so forth, so that they receive the different question at a time. So please check these two. Don't leave this unchecked, and this one is optional also. Just leave it as default. So that's that. And then this is the most important one, quizzes. First, you make this a quiz because you want to assign point values. If you want to allow auto grading, stuff like that. Okay, and then do this one, leave it blank. This one is for Chromebooks. It doesn't apply to us. So leave this open, leave this unchecked. Now release grade, I would check this one, because I don't want the students to receive the answers right after the exams, because for obvious reasons. Yeah, so better to do this and then release the grade later on, maybe a week later. And then all this just uncheck. Reason is, you don't want the student to receive the solution straight away, and also the students get know their points straight away. Create anxiety and stuff like that. So let me go back again. In general, these three. Presentation, these two. Quizzes, make this a quiz, leave this unchecked. Later, for after maneuver, leave everything else unchecked, and then click save. Okay. All right, and everything here is shown already in my slide. So if you want to refer to that, so I've posted here and some text instructions. For Microsoft Forms, it's the same thing. Okay, I think if you can follow this GIF picture, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the same thing with Google Forms, but I think it's more flexible in a way. I kind of like the functionalities on Microsoft Forms. So it's here if you decide to use Microsoft Forms, but for the time being, just to ease everything, I'm just going to use Google Form. Okay, next is how do you actually start? Okay, so what you have here is an empty form. So you're ready to put in all your questions here. So you can just say, okay, this is my engineering exam. You can put all your information here, instructions, whatever. Okay, and then say good luck. Okay, you can do that. All right, so I've prepared something here. So this is an empty one. So just if you want to add question, you can just simply press this button here, add question. Okay. Now, is everyone following so far, or do I need to re-explain some things here? What does this and that do? I'm just gonna give you a few seconds.
Okay. Yeah, we open for any question.
Okay.
Is it okay for using so far?
So far, okay, yeah.
Do it concurrently might be much better.
Uh-huh.
Ada soalan from Rosurina about exam.net ni.
Exam.net.
Okay. Dia guna external ID. So possible ke kalau
XMID. Oh,
in term of the integrity?
I haven't had an experience with XMID yet, but I think if any online form online tools that uses our authentication like UPM ID, I think just go for it. So these three is the ones that I know so far: PutraBlast, Microsoft Forms, and Google Forms. Okay. So let's I think let's get into it. Let's just try and upload one question first, and let's see how it's going to look like. Just one question, and for this question I'm just going to upload a simple multiple choice question. I know it's not popular multiple choice question, but just for the sake of demonstrations I'm just going to use this. So I have this prepared on my other document, Google Form. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just type your question here. Okay, and then make sure that you choose this multiple choice if you want to make it multiple choice. Okay, and then put your options in. So I have options 5, 9, 12. So 5 kilometer per second. Add another option, 9 kilometer per second. Okay, and then I have the choices here. So how do I select the correct answer? So you go to here, answer key, click on that one, set up the point, maybe 1 point, okay, and then select the correct answer, click done. So now your question in basic is done. You have your question, you have your multiple choice items, and you have the answer key. Okay, the students won't see this, only you will see this.
Maybe ada yang boleh off speaker ke? Unmute. Mute.
So basically it's done. The student won't see this, only you will see this. Okay, and then if you want to see how it looks like, you can click this I button here, preview. Okay, so the student will see this. This is what the students will see. Alright. Okay, this is my email address right now, but this is what the student will see. But what you will see right now when you're trying to write the question is this. Now, this is a required button, which means that students must answer this before they submit. My tip is this: you leave this not required. Reason is, say for example you have like 10 questions, and you want for example, sometimes students cannot answer all questions, so you want to allow them to, leave a question unanswered and click submit button because they are racing for time or something. So I recommend that required is unchecked. Okay, and then let's explore. Okay, this is not really relevant. So simple multiple choice question is here. If you decide to not give a multiple choice answer, you can, let's duplicate this question. If you decide to, you don't want to give this answer, you want the students to figure themselves out how to do this, you can select maybe short answer. Okay, so short answer, same thing, but again, another pro tip: do not add a correct answer. The reason is, sometimes let's say the answer is A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, some students might spell it out like this, D, E, F. Some students might answer it like this. Sometimes it's really hard to figure out what are the possible answers that students will give. So I would suggest that if you're doing a short answer question, you don't add a correct answer here. Just leave it blank, and then you will grade it after they send it, which means it's not automated grading lah. Okay, so you leave it blank, and then after the students submit, everyone submit, then you can look at your Excel file just now. See, this is the example of if you, what you can do, what you can get after the exam. You can you know, look at the answer here and then decide from there. Okay, so my suggestion is, again, sorry, if you're doing a short answer question or paragraph, do not add a correct answer. I think I've seen this in my my daughter's Google Classroom, where the teacher give a, you know, she gave a answer here, and then even the capitalization is wrong, or punctuations and everything, the answer is considered wrong. So leave this open. So that is so far we have covered two types of questions. Is there any I stop for a few seconds if you need any questions, if you need to ask any questions. I'm just going to highlight here the type of questions that can be asked on Google Form. Okay.
Okay, so far ada.
Ada
Saya rasa it's a good tips lah when we use the short answer, we don't put the correct answer. Okay,
Correct.
because that will automatic grading after that if we put that.
So in Microsoft is similar. I think if you know how to use Google Form, Microsoft Form is way easier. Okay, the one thing I like about Microsoft Form is it has this enter-in equation available. Google Form tak boleh. So you have this all simple lah. Okay, I think this can be, you know, like x to the power of something. You know, this is, I think, really good features on Microsoft Forms. But it's not that complicated. Everything is really user friendly. So if you know how to use Google Form, the thing is pretty much the same in Microsoft. In Microsoft Form. Okay, I'm just going to go back to Google Form because I think it's this is how I'm going to do this. Okay, so we have now two types of question: MCQ and short answer. So I promised you last time how to include pictures in this. Say for example, you have this question right here. Let me show you my question here. So I have a question where, you know, I have this statement, I have this figures, and then answer. How do I input this? Okay, so one thing you can do is, again, you add a question. Hold on, yeah, I need to sekejap. Aisyah, Aina, can you please turn it down? I'm doing class right now. Kids. So add question, and then here if you hover your mouse here, you can see this. You can insert an image. The cool thing about Google Form is you can either upload your image, or if you find any image online, you can just post it using URL, okay, or ask Google to search it for you. But here I'm going to use my upload. So I have this figure already in my machine. Where is it? I think it's here. Okay, so I'm just going to drag and drop. Okay, done. Ta-da! So you might see, wow, it's too big. It's okay. We can actually readjust it. Okay, and then so I have that picture in there, and then I just copy and paste everything here. Make sure everything comes out okay. I want to still make it multiple choice. So to what's my answer? Pi over 4 to pi over 3 pi. How do you make a pi? another pro tip. Sorry. Windows and knit button, so you can do this by, okay, all right, close that. Pi over 3, sorry, pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, and then pi. Okay, how did I do that pi there? Okay, because sometimes we're engineers, right, mathematicians, and also what I did is I used the hotkey Windows period. Okay, let me show you here a pro tip here. Sorry. Okay, you can use Windows and here to get your math equations and everything. Okay, so that can make it easier for you. All right, so that's how again, or don't forget to actually tell Google Form your answer and points. Don't forget this as well. Okay, and then this one is optional. Yeah, I usually don't do that. This is if you're doing formative assessment, like a practice or exercises, yes you can, but for exam I think you don't have to. Click done. Okay, again let's click our preview. So there you go, we got 3 questions already. One is the short answer question, the multiple choice question, and multiple choice with pictures. Okay, and you can also do a multiple choice with figures as answers. Let me tell you what this is all about. Okay, or before I go to the next one, I probably I can leave a few seconds if you need to ask questions or
Okay, that just to inform that the notes also available, the link.
Yeah. Yes,
Square
everything is here. Everything is here. I've already given this link, so if you want to look at it, go ahead. But I think you can look at it later. Good. So I'm just going to show you how to do this step by step. So, okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Multiple choice with picture as answers. Again, same thing. Put this here. Make sure it's multiple choice. Here you can see there's a button here as well, so you can go ahead and do the same thing. So I guess everything else right now is pretty self-explanatory. Okay. Okay, done. Okay, again, I'm going to show you how it looks like for students. Okay. If you are itching to go, for non-MCQ question, don't worry, I'll go through that after this. Okay, so here again, don't forget to get your answer key. I think cotangent is, I forgot. Oh, I think it's one. Yep. 2 points. Why not? Okay, so this is what you will see. This is what your student will see. Okay, pretty nice, eh? Very nice. Okay, and then the rest of the questions is now.
Dr. Salah,
yeah.
For the questions,
Yeah.
you need to write questions in the equations using equations. Still the same tips, right?
Oh yes. Oh, that's a good question. Now, there's a the limitation of Google Form is you cannot really type in complex math equations in it. So what I would suggest is to type it out, something like this, type it out, put it on words or something, and then upload it as a picture. Okay. Let me show you one of my example here. I think I have an example. I've done this revision quiz for my students. Let me see. There's one question where I did this. Where was it? The way I did it was, let me see if I can find it for you. Yeah, this one. So this is my exam. So what I did was this. I have some pretty, well, complicated matrix that I couldn't do on Google Form by typing. So what I did was I used some other things, probably Microsoft Words or Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Docs, whatever. Type out your questions and then save it as a picture. So actually this is a picture. Yeah, this is a picture. You can actually resize it and everything, so, and upload it. So that's how you solve the problem of not knowing how to type math equations in it. So I think this is a very useful tip for engineering math lecturers, or control engineering lecturers. We deal a lot with diagrams and stuff like that. Use this method. You type it out somewhere else and then upload it on Google Form as pictures. This worked well in my previous test. Okay. All right. So right now we are done with MCQ. Let's move on to the other stuff, which I think it's more I think familiar with this, well familiar with the students. You post up a question, you want the students to upload, type in the short answer, something like this. So I have something like that also. Let's see what I can do here. So again, my question this time is this one. So I have this question with complex math equations just now, like this. I can't do this matrices on Google Forms, so I write it down using whatever is available for me. And then the thing is, right now I need to actually upload this as a picture. So what I usually do is I use this snipping tools. This is my friend right here. It's available for all Windows, for all PC. Yeah, snipping tool. You can just type snipping tool here. Okay, so over here. So what I can do is this: click new. Copy this. All right, save it as a file. Where was it just now? Pictures, online class. Yeah, it's capture. All right, so you do that. Okay, and then you go to final exam. Add a question. On the question, upload again. Okay, go back here. Where I think it's this one, capture. Voila. So you got your question here already. Oh, I need to move that cursor away. Anyway, so this is a quick way to actually, if you have any complex math questions or figures and everything, you can do these options. Okay, so since right now you want to make it a short answer, you can do this. Okay, so the student will only give the answer in terms of numbers, 23.6 for example. Okay, now let's say you don't want you want the students to show their works. Okay, so how do we do that? I think this is the most common our preferable type of questions. Okay, you can do this: file upload. Again, you write these questions, you go here, click on file upload. Okay, Google Form will ask you, let respondents upload files to Drive. You have to say yes, because that's the way you can get students PDF ke JPEG ke apa ke in your Google Drive. So just continue, don't worry about it. Okay, so now your questions become a file upload questions. So you can allow only specific file types. What I do usually is just I'm just limiting to all the not video, not audio. Okay, drawing also can. All right, so you can, I think the students know how to convert scan items with PDF and image. Okay, for me, I personally use CamScanner. I recommend my students to use CamScanner here. Okay, I think it's very useful. I think probably you will have your own way to scan documents from your phone. I use this, it worked really well for me. So you can also tell your students on pick a good document scanner so that you can do the exam. Okay, where was it? Okay, so here, maximum number of files, I usually put in just one because I want everything in just one file. Maximum file size for documents, usually it won't go over 1 megabyte, but images probably, yeah, images probably. So just to be safe, I just put 10 megabytes. Okay, all right, so again, I won't forget answer key. Although I don't have any answer here, I just want to put the points here. Okay, just to let you know, Google Form doesn't automatically give students point if they submit anything. The points, you will need to actually look at the answers and give points. I will show you what will happen afterwards, yeah, if you do this. So this is your question here. Let's again not make it required because sometimes students don't have time to do that. We want to allow them to submit the exams anyway. Okay, so now we are done here. Okay, let's look at how it will look like for the students. Okay, so here it is. Okay, if you notice that the questions are, every time I click on the I button, everything is usually shuffled around. Okay, so this is the question just now. I want to upload file. The student reads the question, the instructions and everything here. You might want to put your marks or whatever here, or you want to put some extra instructions, figures, everything. Just make sure everything is here. And then students will read the question, they will write down their answers on a piece of paper, and then they will add file. This is what they're going to see. Okay, so students will have to drag and drop their files in here. It's doable on a PC, it's doable on a smartphone as well. Okay, but another tip is, if you decide to use the insert file, allow a few minutes for students to upload that. Okay, that means, let's say students say, lecturer doktor, saya tak sempat nak upload, boleh tak tolong buka balik apa semua untuk upload? Yeah, sure, no worries. Okay, so allow them to sometimes to drag to upload their files also. Okay, I think in online learning we have to be considerate to everyone lah. I think because no one knows what to do, so let's help each other, I guess. So this is, if you decide to do this, I think this is the most flexible ones. Okay. All right. Let's stop here and then give a few seconds for any questions you need to ask. In the meantime, I'm just going to slowly and silently upload another question here.
Dr. Salah.
Yeah, Dr. Chia.
Actually, I typed the question already.
Oh, ya ke? Alamak, sorry.
Yeah, double. If we ask the student to upload the file,
yeah,
will the file name indicate who uploaded it and to which question is about?
I see. Yes, it will be like, I'm just going to I'll try to show what I've done and then how it looks like from our side. So just to let you know, I have I did my test, one of my tests on a Google form, and I have few parts. So in part 2 it's just one question where I put this, and then I give them 15 minutes to answer this and upload file. Okay, so this is, the students will see this. Okay, oh sorry, saya dah tutup. So the student will see these questions, and then when the student responses, okay, let's look at this, response. So when this you can look at each individual, you can see this. So I have 70 submissions, okay, and I can look at them one by one. Okay, let's say I wanted to look at student number 3, number 4. Okay, this is their answer. Okay, so this is the answer. So what you can do is, okay, you look at each individual. You say you want to look at student number 4. This is their answers here. You click on that, and this is what the answers look like. Okay, so you figure out, this is correct, this is nice, and then what you do is you give them the marks here. Okay, right now here I gave them 7 marks because he made a calculation mistake, minor calculation mistake, so I'm -1, so I give them marks here. So it's not automated, you have to check one by one, obviously, and I give some individual feedback why I'm -1. Okay, I can edit this as well. Save. Now after I've done this, okay, I can just let them be here, and then I move on to the next student, and then look at Najwa Husna punya pula. Okay, so again, this is her answer. I think she did it correctly, so I give 8 here, and then save everything, individual feedback, good job. Okay, and then I move on to next. So this is how you can see each individual answers from each students. Okay,
Dr. Salah, may I add?
Sure.
One of the reasons that we suggest Google Form, Microsoft Teams, and PutraBlast, and not any other platforms is that this is one of the things that what Dr. Salah has shown on the management of the questions as well as the management of the submissions. Number 1, you have ID of the students already recorded. Number 2, you have timestamp and so on. And number 3, you have the documents, the submissions in one place. And of course, you can use other apps. However, if other than Google and Microsoft that UPM has already subscribed, then you will face the risk of losing the submissions, the information, and so on, when just in case when the apps just unavailable. So that is why the reasons we recommended these 3 platforms. Thank you, Dr. Salah.
Oh, thank you, Prof. I think that's actually the main reason why we're doing this. One is student authentication. Another is record keeping, basically record keeping, record. Like for example, I show you here for the question I posted just now here. This is part 2 of my test, one of my tests. So I have this some on the pledge here, and then this is my question, just one question, because I want them to finish this in 15 minutes, so they don't really have much time to collaborate with each other, sembang-sembang, hey macam mana kau nak buat benda ni. They only have 15 minutes, so they don't have any other time to do any other anything else. Okay, so upload. If they upload that, you can see the time of submission, timestamp. You can see this email address, and you can access the individual file from the students. Okay, so don't worry, students will have this in their Google Drive as well, and we can access that. And then you can actually do your scores here or here. Okay, just now I showed you. Click response. You click on individual, and then you get this. Okay, so you can look at each individual question. No question doesn't matter. Okay, this one here. So you can check every students. All right. So it's really useful in this case.
Okay, Dr. Salah, we have one question from Dr.
Sure.
Nabila. Say she has one question but 2 or 3 versions given
Okay.
random. So how can we do that?
Okay, you
We
can.
have one question but 2 or 3 versions. So you want to just make sure each student may have different version for that one question.
Student may have different. Okay. There are a lot of ways to do that. If I can understand the question correctly, let's say you have one question and then you have 3 variations of it. Probably you change the numbers ke, atau change the diagrams ke, kan? And then you want student to only answer, either one. Okay. So I can think of 2 ways to do this. One is you can put all 3 in a Google form, and you need to specify, you need to tell the student clearly that you need to only answer one. Okay, so they can choose. So, and then you need to make sure that this button is turned off lah, because they don't have to answer all 3. Okay, so they need to answer one. I'll show to you that later on. I think you can use the section strict and everything. Now that's one option. The other option is this: you can separate those 3 questions, 3 versions on a 3 separate Google Forms, and then when the time of the when the day of the exam comes, you divide probably your students into few groups already, and you send out different links. Say group 1, 10 students, they have their own Google Form links. Group 2, another link. Group 3, another link. So in that way, the students, the one that they've selected to be in what group, and whatever, group 1, group 2, group 3, will receive different Google Forms. Okay. So I can think of those 2. I've done the second one. Some tips is you don't divide the group to too many groups, maximum probably 4, because then it will be really hard to manage. And then the second tip is you don't tell the students which group they are in. I think you know the reason why, because you don't want them to collaborate with each other. Kau dalam group aku ke? Jom kita try buat sama-sama. So if they don't know which group they are in, so they don't know who they can collaborate with. So that's another option as the second option. For the first option, let's try to do this here. Let's you can add question, choose question 1, 2 or 3. Okay, so you can here question 1, question 2 and question 3. Okay, so this is the thing. When you do this, you don't give an answer. This is, students will just choose this. Okay, so answer key, everything will be 0, but this is required. Here's the thing. You click on this one here. Wait, multiple choice. Okay. You click multiple choice, and then there's another thing here. Go to section based on answer. Okay, you click here. Okay, so obviously, if students choose question 1, he will go to section whatever. So I haven't put any sections here yet. So let me do in that. Okay, let's again do this. Type this question 1, 2 or 3. It's multiple choice. Click here. Go to section based on answer. Now after that, you can add section down here. Okay, add section. Okay, add another section. Add another section. Each section is for question 1, question 2, and question 3. Okay. So basically, I will recommend this to do on just one Google form without all other questions, because remember we want to to have like one form just to take a short time. So do this on a different Google form, just one form. This is question number 1 and the next one. So we go back here. So if student choose question 1, we make it go to section here. Question 2, go to question 2, 3. So, all right. Okay, let's see how that looks like if we do it here. So I'm just opening here, import question. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so on question 1, I add is it true? Simple question, yes and no. Okay.
10 o'clock 要开始了。哦，你 English 呀，你的 English teacher Joyce。
Okay.
佳怡，你不是 break 吗？佳怡，你不要去吃那个 noodle 啊。
Okay, I'm just going to put 3 different questions here. So what the student will see is this. Sorry, wait. I want to make sure this is not quiet. Okay. All right. Let's see what student will see. So student will see this. Choose question 1, 2, or 3. I choose question 1. Next, and then you will go to the question 1. Okay. And then if the student choose question 2, next. Oh, did I think oh yeah, I forgot. Rookie mistake. I forgot to do this. Alright, cool. I think it's fixed now. So question 2, next. Ta-da! The student will see question number 2. I guess I provided you the basics. I think maybe you can do the rest yourself. I will share this as well. I will collaborate. I'll put the link. Okay, this is one question, 3 versions. Okay, I will share this link for you to you can edit this one later on. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Salah.
No worries.
Right. For that one question, different versions. So each versions also arranged randomly, right?
Each question arranged randomly. No, you need to make sure lah. I mean, if you want your student to, and I mean, student will have their own choice in this case.
Yeah, maybe so it will be not randomly chosen.
Oh, okay. So in that case,
yeah, so you can actually probably ask the others. Okay, we just stick to question 1 or what? Is it possible or not?
I don't know how to do that. I mean, if you click 1 and then you go to random branch.
Is it possible to do it randomly? Meaning that we don't.
I see what you mean.
Actually, we don't put question 1. We just say just question for all. The same question. But they are actually randomly arranged in that question. But each question actually give different meaning to the different question, right?
Yeah, I understand the question. Let's say the student don't choose question 1 or 2 or 3, but they choose an answer and then you just go randomly to a section. I think I found someone who did that online, but I'm not too sure. I think if I get the answer, I'll get back to you. I'll put it in the Google the slides. I think there's a way to do that. There's a way to do that.
Okay, there is one question, Dr. Salam.
Yeah.
I think from user Dr. Wan. I shuffle she shuffle the section, so students will get different section by random. Shuffle the section, okay, so section by random.
Yeah.
But can she make the students not able to go back to the previous once they submit the answer to the previous section?
Okay. So this one here, let's say, I think you mean this back button is not available? Is that what you're saying?
Perhaps maybe that is what she meant.
Okay. I think there's an option here where you can't go back to your previous section or something, but I'm not too sure about that one. Again, let me write it down here. So if I can get the answer, I'll just type it out. Disallow going back previous section. Wait, you want to allow or disallow? Maybe both. Okay, I'll get back to you. Random branching. Okay. Oh, this is a good question. I'll do this myself, Auntie. Actually, yes. This is a good idea. I think I want to do this later. Okay. So let me just delete everything else here because I've done it for. Okay. Let's continue with our, if I can, I want to continue with our previous trajectory. Where is it? I got too many tabs open here. Here we go. So in Microsoft Forms, I think you can follow this. Now, let's say you have, you know how to upload. If you know how to upload all these 6 types of questions, I think you're all set. You're all set. I think you can be real creative on how you want to ask your students, how you want students to submit the answers. You can be really creative. But I think this is the basic on what you can do on Google Form, and then I think after this, it's up to you on how you want to design your question. Yeah. So that's only halfway because we only have designed our question. What's next? Now for Google Form, for Microsoft Forms, okay, I like it because when you go to settings, okay, you can have the start date and end date, which makes a lot of sense if you're doing exams. Yeah, you want the form to only open after certain time, and then you also have the cutoff time. I mean, anything after here, in this case, anything after 11:30, no one can do anything anymore. Okay, so Microsoft Forms is really advanced in that one. It eases our job a lot. But for Google Form, you need an small extra steps. You need to download an add-on, okay, to do the limiting. Okay, how to do that is I've already in the next, I think, random pro tip here, formLimiter. So how to download the add-on for Google Form in order to enable it to have to set up start date, start time, end date, end time. So you can refer to this document right here on how to install formLimiter. Okay, don't worry, it is actually part of Google Form, but you can go here, add-ons, okay, and then you'll find this here. I've already installed it. Okay, formLimiter. formLimiter, what it does is it limits your form in 2 ways: limit time, you got your time frame, or limits the number of responses. Okay, so let's say I have this question already, so I'm ready to submit this to my students. Now I need to set time, so I go here, add-ons. This is my list of add-ons. I have formLimiter here. click on it. Okay. Where is it? Why is it not doing anything? Did I? Okay, hold on, let me see what is going on here. Because I uninstalled it yesterday to report an issue. Okay, I think I know why. I think I have to. Here you go. There you go. I have to refresh it. I don't know why. Oh, again, I'll show you what I will do. Go here, click on add-ons, click formLimiter, which I have installed just now. Go to set limit. Okay, this pop-up will appear. So select limit type. I want to limit my form in a time frame. Now you can do stop accepting form responses on yada yada date. Okay, let's stop it. I'm just gonna pick a date here. Okay, and time. Okay, 6 p.m. All right. So yeah, let's not. Okay, so if I do this, okay, so if I do this now, the form will automatically close when it's 6 p.m. next year. On the 1st of January next year. Okay, so for example, if you want to let's say you want everyone to submit before, you need to tell clearly your students, yeah, you need to submit everything before this time. Say 1st of August, select it. So you want your exam to end at 12 p.m. Okay, set. So after 12 p.m. on 1st of August, cut off. No response can be made by students. Okay, so save and enable. Okay. Okay. So if the student still wants to submit, they will see something like this: not accepting response. Okay. But don't worry. In case something happen, let's say a student say, sorry doktor, saya tak dapat upload sebab ada apa-apa, boleh tak bagi lagi 2 minit untuk saya upload. So you can actually manually override this. You can just go to responses and turn this back on. Okay, and turn this off. Okay. Now, is formLimiter necessary? I would say no, because you can control this accepting response, not accepting response manually, right? So if you decide you want to close the form before the exam starts, you can do this. Okay, and then probably a minute before it started, your exam starts, click on that one, and then I think, okay, time is up. I think 11:30, so you just close. Okay, you can do it manually. So that's what's great about this. Microsoft Forms is more flexible in that sense. Okay, so that is for limiting time. I'll stop a few seconds for any questions or answer pula. Or discussion.
Yes, Dr. Salah. From Dr. Prof. Rimfil. Okay. If a sub question carries 8 marks, say 8 marks, sub question, then the students will get either 8 or 0. Okay. This is because we cannot see the students working in order to give him or her partial credit. Okay, that is the statement. However, if the sub-question is further broken down to enable giving partial credit, then it's just like giving the question away to the students.
I see.
Okay. The difficulty level design will then also be compromised. The subsection is already not that difficult, also not possible to evaluate students' ability to solve the problem, the whole problem. Okay, that one.
Okay.
So, can you comment about that?
All right. I think in that case, let's say if you have like some sort of a structure to your questions, you have a big questions and A is asking, A, B, C, you have sub problems, and then you want to enable students to say if they answer A, you get partial credits and everything. I think if you think it's too complex to put it on Google Forms, I will suggest this one, file upload. You type out your questions in there, and then the students need to answer everything, part A, part B, part C, for example, on a piece of paper, okay, and then upload it as a document. And then what you will do is just like just now. What you will do is you look at the answers, students' answers one by one. Okay, here. This is my test just now. I have this. Okay, and then we'll go to responses and then go to individual. I want to check every student. So student number 1, this is how they upload the answer. So in this way, I can see, and this is not very good. So let's say this part here I want to give one. So here it provides you flexibility. You can actually see the document itself and then decide on how you want to give the partial marks. Yeah. So you do this, and then once you decide, I think this will be probably 2, this was 0. So you can just go back to the individual here, and then you change this right here. Okay. So if you do this, it's simple. You can just upload the whole questions like that, and then the students will upload the answers like in a document, and then you can do however partial markers you want to do. Basically, it's not automated grading. I guess probably the question is more on the automated grading. So in this case, automated grading is probably not an option. So so that's why for a more complex type of question, how you ask your students, I would suggest use the file upload thing, so that you can look at individual students' answers and give partial marks according to you. And then you can tell the students okay, overall method is okay, but you have a mistake in initial calculation, initial inclination calculation, and 2, okay, something like that. So in that case, I think it's suitable to use for this. It allows a lot more flexibility. I guess automatic grading is only for MCQ. Okay, I hope that answers the questions.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, hopefully. So let me see.
All right. Okay, actually there was previous question, I think, concerning whether we need to train students for this one before the actual exam.
Yes, because it's a first time for all of us. It's the first time for lecturers mostly. It's first time for students as well. So sometimes they don't know what to expect, like how everything is new now. So I would suggest before you do your actual test or actual exam, you do a mock test first. You can add any questions, any random questions, just to make sure students are familiar with the process. And it's for yourself too. You're familiar with the process, familiar of how students send their documents. Sometimes students need to practice actually, take a picture of your document, upload it on the internet. So I think mock examinations is very, very recommended. Okay, I did that a few times also. Just do some simple quizzes, nothing serious, and then just because I just want the students to be familiar with the process, and also for me also to know how things are going. So, and also I think you need also to communications with students is important. when are you sending them links? How are you going to send the links to the students, by email or using WhatsApp or whatever? You need to tell students you need to log into your UPM ID. If not, you cannot access this, because some students are they don't know how to do that, sadly. Mock examinations, I think I would say it's a must. Not highly recommended. I think it's a must. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. About the integrity, I think we haven't mentioned about the first thing that students need to ensure.
So about integrity, anyway, so preview. Let me finish this one for preview.
Yeah, I think there's one settle that we can do that.
Okay, so send form, and then here is a slide on how to send the form to students. You can choose by email or click or give the links. Both Google Forms and guides for Microsoft is here. For the prevent online cheating, so I've made some, I've collected some resources from all over, just to show how can we prevent online cheating. There's a good paper on this one here from Klasky, thwarting online exam cheating without proctor supervision. Proctor means you have like special software for proctoring, invigilating. They provide a few good strategies. Now I want to say this, I don't know how to totally eliminate. I don't think anyone knows how to totally eliminate online cheating. But what we can do first is to design our question to be open-ended, and then we check for plagiarism when they submit the answer. Let's say for example essay question, it's easy to check for plagiarism. If you can find something on on Google, for example, or use Turnitin, for example, that's easy. So if you make your question open-ended, you can assess the creativity from students. Now that's one way of doing that. Now in this here in that paper, and also a few other resources, so I've posted a few strategies here. One is limiting examination time. That means students will only take this exam at one time. If it's 11 o'clock today, it's 11 o'clock today. There won't be any exam tomorrow, the same question. I think this is logical, I think we all do this. And then also design the online exam so that it only occupies just enough time to complete it. Say for example, the question, the time needed to complete the question for good students, 15 minutes, for example. A good student, A students can complete the question in 15 minutes. A B students, for example, probably in 20 minutes. So you can decide, you want them this question will be open, available on the internet for 15 to 20 minutes only, and then you cut off the submission date. The reason here, although it sounds so evil, but the reason here, you don't want to give too many times. Let me rephrase that. The more time given to student to answer a question, the higher the probability that student will collaborate with each other. Example, question A, you give them 15 minutes. The same question, you give them 30 minutes. In 15 minutes, they will only use that 15 minutes to solve the question. If you have 30 minutes, okay, some good students will already solve the question and help the others. So if you open the exam for like 1 hour, for sure there will be some kind of collaboration. They will just contact their friends with WhatsApp and everything. So the second procedure plan is, I think, limit the examination time. Again, I want to emphasize that this will not totally eliminate online cheating, but I think a good plan will provide reasonable assurance that the academic integrity can be achieved satisfactorily. Okay. Now, secondly, the reason why we are pushing the lecturers to use PutraBlast, Google Forms, or Microsoft Forms is because they can only access with UPM ID. If you use some other platform, for example, they don't need to use that. So this is to ensure that actually the students is taking the exam, not anybody else. Okay. And then the next one, I think this is let me embiggen this. Embiggen, so that you can read it. I'm sorry, I'm just right. I think yes. Okay. If possible, design examination such that student can only access one question at a time. This is what I told you about. If, say for example, previously we were so used to create a 2-hour exam, okay, but now, like I said, because if you give SOPA 2 hours, the chances of students will collaborate with each other is really high. So if you can break the exam into probably, I don't know, smaller parts, 15-20 minutes, if you can do that, and then give one by one. Okay, it's tedious, but it's very doable, and I think it has to be done if you want to, ensure that academic integrity is, achieved, so on and so forth. So the reason is because if you give them everything all at once, they can conspire and say, okay, you do question number 1, I do question number 2, let's swap our answers afterwards. They can collaborate. But if you chop it up, 15 minutes, for example, they don't have any time to do anything else. They concentrate one question at a time, submit. One question at a time, submit. Okay. So if you have a 2-hour exam, so what I will do, I will just shorten the exam question, the actual exam question, to be solved in 1.5 hour, and I will chop it up into few sections. I'll give the links one by one. Solve this first, submit. Solve this, submit. And then that will constitute all the 2 hours. Okay, this is like I said, adapting question to e-exam format, design open book and open web question. Make sure your question is not Googleable. If they can copy and paste it on Chrome, they can just find the answer. So make sure that create questions that require higher order thinking. I think this is to demonstrate. For synchronous exam, randomized order question. This is useful if you're using multiple choice questions or questions or even like essay questions. You can do this as well. Randomize the order. If you got 3 questions, randomize. If you got 10 questions, you want to randomize, that's even better. Okay, delay solutions. Don't give the solution straight away. Just now, that's why I said turn off the required section and turn off giving them the statistics, correct answer and everything, feedback. Okay, and obviously check for plagiarism using any available tool online. Okay, sometimes in essay questions, sometimes if I just copy and paste a phrase and put it on Google search, sometimes I can find this student can plagiarize with from some other web. The last one is to ask them to sign an aku janji or on a pledge. Now, research has shown that it does make a difference. If you compare with students not signing this and students signing this, well, research so it makes a difference. So if it makes like a 10% difference, why not we do it? So it's actually it's just a statement at the beginning of the exam where students have to actually, saya mengaku bahawa saya tidak memberi atau menerima apa-apa pertolongan, and then they need to sign it, or they need to check the box, or whatever. Okay, or you can include your own, statement in here, but this is the most generic one lah. You can quote some from Akta ke apa ke, but I don't know how to do that. So that's what I did for my exam here. Let me see if I can find it for you. This is what I did here. So I put this in no marks, obviously. I put some UPM logo. If you want to scare students off, you want to put your face in here as well, looking at the screen, and then the student have to check this. Okay, believe it or not, some students are not used to this. I had one student.
So what have you done with them?
No. I posted the question there, and then he said, doktor, saya tak check ni sebab apa, saya tak tick sebab saya jujur, saya mungkin akan tengok tanya kawan. And then I said to him, well, you know very well that if you don't agree to this, I won't accept your exam. Simple as that. Simple as that. I won't accept your exam because you don't, kita tak mengaku. So I think it's okay. Students kadang dia tak faham konsep dia. Probably this is the first time they see it, so that's why they're not used to it. So you have to explain to them, well, you have to janji that you won't do this and you won't do that, and you need to actually sign this, and if you actually do this, then we were gonna refer to this statement again that you have signed, that you have agreed on, and then we'll bring you to tata tertib ke whatever lah. Give them a bit of kasih keras sikit tapi kita sebenarnya lembut. Okay, and if you need to more detailed explanation on this one, you can refer to the one that Kate gave the outline. So I think it's to have a plan. To have a plan is better than not have a plan. Okay, ada question lagi ke?
Okay, question from Dr. Chia. If we limit the students to respond once only, and unfortunately the student lost internet connection in the middle of the online exam, will the students be able to resume answering when he or she is back online?
Yeah, that is should be expected. So in my experience, although I mentioned to students that this form will open for 15 minutes only, 11 to 11:15, and then at 11:15 I will get messages from students. They say, doktor tak sempat nak upload lah, kata and then I will say, okay, upload sekarang, I give you 2 minutes. So that's why in here, response here, this button is really important. Yeah. So let's say after 11:15 you're not accepting responses anymore because you're using the formLimiter stuff tadi kan. So dia kan tutup secara automatic, it will close automatically. So now come a message from students, say student, so doktor saya tak dapat, so you open, and then after the upload, close balik. Give them only like a few minutes, don't give them like so that's what I will do. I think the philosophy is,
so during this period the questions the answer is true or not?
The answer is what?
During this period of submitting within that 15 minutes, can the student still answering the question? Can you listen? During the period of submission,
if you
students still answering the question.
Yes, first we have to actually tell students 11:15 everything will be closed, so you won't get anything anymore. But sometimes when you do questions like file upload, it might take some times. So I have cases before this where where I want everyone to submit before 11:15, and most of them submitted. But I got 2 students who actually messaged me and said, I tried to upload but couldn't. Now the form is closed. So what I did was, I said, okay, upload it now, I give you 2 minutes. So I opened this, they uploaded in that 2 minutes, and then I can actually monitor using this. Using this, I can monitor which one, who's sending and who's not sending. So, and then after 2 minutes is up, I close it again. There you go. So it would be dangerous, I think. It would be dangerous if we have like 10 questions. Yeah, you have a long Google form, 10 questions, and then when you close, they need to answer everything again. I think that was your question, probably. If not, then this is very doable. I've done this. I opened it one time, and then student will still need to upload because they already answered the question anyway on a piece of paper. The only thing they need to do is just to upload it on the internet. So that's why I think in online exam, 2 things we have to be considerate. One, the time students takes to answer the question, and one, the time student takes to actually upload the answers. I hope that is clear. If anyone wants to chime in, give you a suggestion, bagilah. Saya pun kebanyakan pandai sikit.
Based on experience from others, right?
Based on experience lah. Siapa yang dah buat, I think maybe you faced a different problem in mind, and you have a different solution. You can. I think that's the point of this thing. It's not a one-way thing. Are the answers saved automatically if the student start on the open-ended question and the time duration finish?
Yeah, Dr. Sai, you are reading the
Yeah, I'm
question
reading.
from
Are the answers saved? Start open-ended question. No, the answers. If you're talking about file upload, yeah, the answers you will only receive the answer when it's uploaded. So students have to actually click submit. If I think you're probably you're talking about the paragraph kind of question, yeah, where the student is still typing and then the time is up, and then what's going to happen next. You know what? I'm not too sure about that because I haven't tried that one yet. If I understand you, the question correctly is this: let's say you have an essay question, open-ended. Students are typing the answers, type, and then time is up. You cannot submit anymore. So what's going to happen to the answer? I might have to find the solution online. But in the case of where you upload the files up on the Google form, it's not a problem. As long as you submit the button, submit the file, then that is what we're gonna grade. Okay, so I'll put that in here. Let's see how there's a half answered question. Okay, so I think this is for like paragraph or something like that. Paragraph or short answer question. Okay. In calculation question, if possible, we can use one value. Oh, okay.
And what is possible in the setting the random question, the random value?
Yeah,
I think this
I'm
is
reading this. You know what? I don't know how to do this. I think maybe
the same question, right? The same question but different number, right? That is why.
If you can actually do this, then it will be really great. This would be really
Yeah.
good because oh, you can do this, yeah, nice. So I'm just going to I cannot pin this. So I want to try this. If I can do this. But then again, how do you make the multiple choice answers correspond to the random value? Oh, if you're talking about open-ended question like short answer, whatever, I think probably this is possible. But then again, it will be really hard for you to actually make the answer scheme and everything. But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put this here as well. Dr. Chia, I think just now Professor asked anyway to check if students are in close proximity, say in the same physical room. Because I found some students staying in the same house, they even share the same. I don't know. Yeah. To be honest, I don't know. Yeah.
Out of our control, right?
I think let's approach it this way. Let's assume that they will refer to books. One, they will refer to internet. They have internet, so they will refer a question to the internet, and then they will probably have someone nearby. Okay. Once we know this, we can adjust our questions to be ready for these situations. Okay. Now for open web and open book, it's easy. We design our question to be open web exam. So Googling will be useless, referring to books will be useless. They need to use their own creativity. Now for the collaboration thing, that's why I think I mentioned a few strategies where we can make it difficult. We know they're gonna have their friends there, but we're gonna make it difficult for them to really conspire. Let's see. One is like randomize the question. Okay, so this person probably will receive question 1 first, and then that person question number 3. So they are working on a different question altogether. So how do they do this? And then that's this one here. This is the point. if possible, design examination so that one question at a time. Okay, that's one. Another one is open your exam for only like 15 minutes. I know 15 minutes is the numbers that have been thrown around. I think I found that number is from this not this one. I think this paper here. And see, in 15 minutes, students will only concentrate on solving the question, and they don't really have much time to actually collaborate, because I am working on question number 1. I got only 15 minutes. He's working on question number 3. He's only got 15 minutes. So even they are sitting together closely, but the way we design the question, well, they can talk to each other, but it's not going to be helpful. I think that's how we can approach this designing an online exam question. We should know the student will have access to books, have access to web, have access to probably MATLAB ke apa ke, and then we'll have access to the friends. So we're gonna have to design a question around these assumptions. So those are a few, I think, plans which will make collaboration really, really difficult for them. And in a way, it will handle the academic integrity issues, I would say, satisfactorily.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Where's the checkbox just now? Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay. Is there okay? Bolehkah UPM keluarkan satu standard perakuan untuk diletakkan on top of the question to standardize? I think this one probably on the faculty level, right?
Yang aku janji tu
PDA office.
Ya, statement aku janji tu ke?
On a pledge tu.
Oh, on a pledge tu. Itulah. On a pledge tu. Saya ada bincang siapa itu. Dia kata sometimes kalau benda ni maybe we can ask legal to actually draft out the statement and everything. But for the time being, I've talked to a few professors. I think you can use a generic one like this lah. Saya itu ada jumpa satu universiti punya, dia buat on the pledge, atau siap letak ayat Quran apa semua sekali tu suruh student sign. You can do that. But
the one probably can come from the PDA office, probably.
A standard one, probably yes. But as of right now, if you want to, initiate something, I think just use a generic one. I think yes. I think we already gave you suggestions on how to do this. I think this is a generic one. If you want to add quote some akta ke, if you want to put some other nasihat ke, I think it's okay. But I agree, it would be much better if you have like standard ones where everyone can use that. But yep, I'm trying to find the checkbox right now. It's missing. How do I?
From the YouTube ke?
Oh tak, from this chat. Okay, I cannot read. I don't read the question from YouTube, so probably you can
Okay, the YouTube.
Ada apa-apa tak? Saya banyak ni, alamak.
I couldn't hear your voice, but probably sometimes, probably.
Huh?
What about the essay structure form? That one have been explained, right?
Essay structure form, yes. Essay structure form, again, easy. You just. Sorry about that. Mana ni? Sekejap where's my, okay. Add questions, and where is the question? Nothing. Oh, here. So a question you change to paragraph. Okay. If you want to add, so I have this question here. I have this. Okay. So I have this picture. Let me make it smaller. Make sure it's center aligned, and then I take it from here. I have this question already here, and then just put it, paragraph, answer key, because I'm asking for 3 solutions, so probably 2 points each, 6, and then done. Okay, let's make not that required, so kalau dia tak sempat dia boleh answer lah. Okay, and then let's check again. So always good. Okay. Okay. So this is how they will see it. Okay, so they can answer here. Okay, maybe it's because I got this. Okay, so that's how actually you do the yeah, there you go. So your answer you can type here 1, you can type it. Okay, so I guess this was the question before. Let's say the student is still typing down, and then the time goes off. What will happen? Okay, alright, so I'll try to find a solution to that one, but I guess you need to actually tell students the exam will strictly end at 11:15. So if you don't submit anything before that time, your answer will not be accepted. Okay, so mock examination is also important too. Am I still online? Is hello?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Okay. What about the buffer time to upload into the system?
Buffer time, yeah.
It takes some time.
What's your suggestion for buffer time? I guess
15 minutes.
yeah. I will tell the students that you need to, let's say, give you from 11 to 11:15, and then you need to stop answering in 11:15, or else your submission will not be counted. And then I will use the next 5 minutes to manage those who missed out lah, terlupa nak upload ke apa ke macam tu. So I think 5 minutes is okay. How long is it gonna take to upload a 1 megabyte file? So okay. Okay, is there any other question? If not, I think there will be more help from TDA office about on how to use PutraBlast is next week. Dr. Mahfuzah will be handling the talk as well. It will be something like this as well. And also we've prepared some guide on how to design open-ended questions and everything, but this can be shared around, but I'll let TDA share it around first. Okay, and also I want to there's another slide here. There's another slide here on MCQs and why I think it's a powerful assessment tool for online exams. I know their weaknesses are, it's not very popular, but they have their strengths as well. It's very well suited for online. Okay. Kejap Kejap. Aina, keep it quiet down a bit. Nanti papa ni Okay. Because it's very well suited for online automatic grading and everything, I think it should be I can consider on making MCQs, but do not make your whole examination based on MCQ questions, only because reasons is sometimes a weak MCQ will only be able to assess lower order thinking skills. Okay, I have given also a few references if you want to look at how you want to design multiple choice questions to assess higher order thinking skills. You can refer to this. Okay, and then I'm also sharing the two forms that we've been doing online. I hope you can access this here. I've opened it for collaboration. That means if you wanted to do any changes here pun boleh. Okay, so this is your sandbox lah kira. Okay, Google Form, Microsoft Form is here as well. So feel free to try to do anything, but don't, if you wanna do it, if you wanna try and send it to your students, make sure you copy it into different file. Okay, so I've prepared a template. I hope everything is okay.